So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to learn some Jedi skills? Yeah, I think so too. I'm a biohacker, but I'm also a serial technology entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for 15 years, running multiple companies. And I have done everything wrong, including burning the candle from both ends. I thought that I can manage stress unlimited amounts, but that was definitely not the case. So today, I'm working on some startup businesses. Here you can also see Swipe to Meet, that you can come to our stand, which is next to the matchmaking area. And we also take care of the matchmaking between investors and startups with the meetings platform. So that is going to be the fastest way to schedule a meeting. But I'm not going to talk about this today, but I'm going to talk about biohacking. And Biohacker's Handbook is the foundation for what I'm going to talk about. I don't have that much time to go deeper into the details, but I hope that I can give you some advice that you can take into your entrepreneurial life. So this is something that I'm working with a medical doctor and a nutrition specialist. So I'm the technology geek. And in this book, we define biohacking as something where you're optimizing your well-being, your performance, your health, with biological and technological tools. So you take, just like a hacker, you take a systemic view of how your body functions. What are the inputs? What are the processes? What are the outputs? Inputs might be nutrition, exercise, sleep, and there are specific metabolisms and things that happen in your body, and there is some output in your performance, for example. In the book, we go through some specific topics and areas: exercise, nutrition, sleep, the mind, and work. And I think we can all agree that your mind is not going to function properly, and it's not going to show up in your work if you don't exercise enough, if you don't sleep enough, if you don't eat the right kind of diet. We have already released the chapters for sleep and mind, and in a couple of weeks we will release the nutrition chapter, and next year those are also going to be in English, so it's now only in Finnish. I'm a big believer in Peter Drucker's thinking. So he was the founding father of something that we call knowledge work today. But he said that what gets measured gets managed. And today there is infinite amount of ways of optimizing your life and tracking and getting better understanding of the different processes in your life. So here is some of the tools that I used to treat myself of a stress-related disease that I got from working too much. I was suffering from an ulcer in the stomach for 9 months. The traditional medical establishment was not able to treat that, so I had to do what I do best, which is hacking. So I started looking into how does this work and how can I influence the system. And these are some of the tools that I've been using. The whole wearable landscape, if you just look at, if you look at the head of the wearable landscape, that's where you have sort of kind of mainstream tools and trackers and wristbands and all of that, but there is a huge long tail of all kinds of things that you can use to track different sensory information coming from your body. And if you take the consumerization of all of this, how Apple is now doing it by bringing Apple Watch, what are they really doing? I mean, the mobile phone was already a very personal instrument that you wake up with, and it's also the thing that you go to sleep with. It's the first thing you look, it's the last thing you look. And now they want to colonize our bodies with it. It's going under the skin. It's on the surface already. And that's the future where we are going, guys. In quantified self and biohacking, what we do, in biohacking, you sort of have a specific hypothesis based on scientific understanding, based on advisors, your own gut feeling. If I do this, if I, let's say, I exercise more, maybe it shows up in my performance. So then the question is, if you do something, you do an experiment, does it really show up as real results? And subjective experience is one thing, but the other question is, how can I measure and track and get data if that's really happening? That's the quantified self part. And it enables you to build a map of yourself, and it's also a map that you can use to relate that to the data that other people have been gathering. That's the big data. So then you use the map to devise even better, to design even better experiments, the biohacking experiments for the future. And to me, this is a learning process. It's a continuous learning process. Never have the hypothesis I had in the beginning or the measurements made anything more sense, but to give me more questions, more things to explore, and more understanding to gain about myself. Many of us have calendars, but this is not a calendar forwards, this is a calendar backwards. Every day that ends, I see a complete picture of what happened. Now someone is thinking, this guy is totally crazy, he's tracking everything. But I'm a big fan of automated data capture, so that I can capture all of the information automatically. See, I don't have any wristbands or anything like this. But you can still, if you like, you can track my current stress level, my heartbeat, and so on from that screen over there. So I'm a big fan of things that don't require any press of buttons or so on. But let's hack the work day. So I'm going to go through an example day of what you might want to do. I can give you some advice, but I start with the most important thing for entrepreneurs, which is sleep. We all know that sleep is essential for your physical performance, your cognitive function, as well as your health. If you compromise sleep, all of the markers related to modern problems and disease, including diabetes, heart disease, obesity, those are linked to lack of sleep. And those increase the inflammation in your body, that compromise your immune system, and I mean, it's a pretty hairy thing if you go there. The question is then also about quality of sleep. We say that 7.5 hours is what people should get, but it differs from one person to another. And it also differs of what kind of day you live. If you're very stressed out, if you drink alcohol, more than 2 glasses in the evening, it will show up in your recovery, in your deep sleep, and the recovery phases of the sleep. There's many trackers out there that you can use. So there are these wristbands and there are mobile apps that you can place on the bed, and it can measure to get a picture of your whole night's sleep. But none of these, I mean, wristbands or things are as accurate as something that's under your bed sheet that's measuring also your heart rate, your perspiration, and so on. So I would recommend 2 Finnish startup companies, Mfit, QS, and Bedit as solutions for that. And what I get in the morning is a total picture of the night. But one of the things as an entrepreneur I'm really interested in is the stress. So how stressed am I compared to my average? And when I do things and I push myself, sometimes you don't really know that you are pushing yourself too much. Another thing that we do is sit in front of computers, right? And I have to tell you that there's pretty solid evidence that the blue wavelength, which is related to day life, these kind of lights, what I have right here, are blocking the production of melatonin. In the evening, normally the sun sets, red wavelength dominates. That tells your biology that it's time to go to sleep. Now, if you just keep on using computers, looking at your mobile phone and tablets, no wonder it takes 45 minutes or so to the melatonin production to kick in and you to fall asleep. So as a hacker, you can stop using that an hour before going to sleep, or you can block the blue wavelength with these cool glasses like this that filter out that wavelength, or you can use an app like Flux. Or like I do, I use Philips Hue, so I have this kind of lighting equipment at my home that basically changes depending on what time of the day it is. How many of you had hangover this morning, by the way? You don't have to have hangover ever again. I mean, this is something that you can really do by supporting your body to eliminate acetaldehyde, which is a metabolite of ethanol. So here's a little protocol for you. I'm not going to show this ever again. So this is the first time, so take a picture now if you can. So first, drink the right kind of alcohol. If you have a lot of byproducts of the production process, you drink beers, liquors, and so on. Those have all kinds of toxic byproducts. But if you drink alcohol, drink the most purest one. For example, Finlandia vodka or Koskenkorva, and then you can block the way how it influences your liver. In the liver, you have an enzyme called glutathione. It's a liver enzyme. And you can support the production of glutathione that can break down acetaldehyde so you don't get hangover. Hangover is acetaldehyde poisoning, basically. So one of the tricks that you can do is to take N-acetylcysteine with every drink, 100 milligrams or so, or you can eat your eggs, not in the morning, but before you go out and afterwards. And afterwards, you also have to drink water enough, take vitamin B1, alpha-lipoic acid, and other things. And if you drink all those liquors, beers, and so on, take activated charcoal to bind the toxins. You never have hangover again. My breakfast is my temple in the morning. This is where I nourish my body. You don't have much control over lunch or dinner, for example, in a conference like this, but in the morning you can really choose what you eat. So try to maximize the number of nutrients per calorie. And this is the crazy setup that I have. And when you're preparing something, the easiest way is to put it into liquid form that absorbs effectively. So take everything from every category, every color, and very strong flavors in there as well. But if you don't want to go, like I, through this kind of route, there is a Finnish startup called Ambronite that basically packages everything in one bag. It's a meal replacement that gives you the nutritional requirements in 2 minutes. Or if you just enjoy your morning coffee, you can also hack that. So try to focus on everything that you do repeatedly. Try to find the best possible way of doing that. If you drink coffee, if you sit in front of a computer, if you drink alcohol, I mean, if you sleep, if you sit in a chair, whatever, all of those are the things that you do repeatedly. That's where you get most benefits by upgrading it. Remember that you are what you absorb. And it's just not about the intake, it's also what actually gets into your body. So try to figure out the individual differences. You can do genetic testing, or you can look into the absorption of things. There's all kinds of startup companies coming out that are making this easier. Q, for example, helps you to measure inflammation, testosterone levels, and other hormones at home. When I'm commuting to the work, I often track myself, and here is a visualization of my movement around Helsinki center. There's a great Finnish app called Moves that was sold to Facebook that helps you to do the automated data capture of your movement. When you get to work, don't sit down. That basically shuts down your metabolism. Try to stand or be at least in a 70-degree angle, and try to move yourself, your cells. I mean, you have to get the fluids going during the day as well, and there's many tricks for that. For me, the 7-minute scientific workout is one of the most effective way as an entrepreneur to really get up to speed with also to keep myself fit, but also to avoid going for 1.5 hours to the gym and everything involved, but rather only like 7 minutes, 15 minutes or so in total exercise. And I know, I've done the genetic testing, that I have high injury risk, but I also recover very fast. And this kind of combination of aerobic and power endurance kind of exercises is very good for me. And then there's stress, and never over exercise. I think Sami is going to tell us more about that maybe soon, because he's a pretty professional as an Ironman athlete on that one. But try to look at the recovery, and try to recover in small amounts, like 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes every day, every spot, every opportunity you have. Take a deep breath. And there are tools that you can use to hack your concentration, your ability to bring yourself to a calm state. I'm using one right now. It's called Muse. It's an EEG reader. So to me, an upgraded human is the unity of man and machine, and also nature. It's not only human and technology merging as a cyborg, but you have to also find a path back to your real nature, where we come from. This is something we have forgotten in modern times. So biohacking is really to discover that part in yourself. It's not necessarily over-optimizing everything, but it's about preventing yourself to become sick. It's about taking everything you do every day to a new level. And it's in a way finding the balance that perhaps has been lost by not sleeping enough, not exercising enough, not eating the right kind of diet. If you're interested in what I've been telling to you, you can discover more. We have on the 10th of December an event called Biohacker Summit here in Helsinki in Vanha Satama, biohackersummit.com. Take a look at that. It's going to be amazing. We have some of the leading experts coming from all around the world. And go hack yourself. I mean, you're real hackers. You're not a real hacker if you're not hacking yourself. If you only hack code, that's not enough. You have to hack yourself. Your code will be better. So I would love to invite Sami Inkinen on stage, and we are going to be discussing well-being and startup life. It's very easy to burn the candle from both ends, and he definitely has some experience on that. And is it a paradox Can you have both? Or is it an either-or kind of situation? I think we're going to have a very interesting fireside conversation on this one. So I thank you at this moment. So give me applause while we wait for Sami to jump on stage. Thank you.